Uh, as sir said that I did my yoga therapist course in last batch with sir. But we are always a special batch. Our batch always get extra time, extra attention. So that is the reason that because our batch was like at the beginning, online yoga therapist when the YCB introduces, and that period, that time we appeared for the exam. So we always get extra attention to sir and extra time to stay with Prana Yoga Therapy Center's courses. So it is like an experience, such a way, how I can explain that when you are in the class, you would understand that not the subject, the depth of the subject in every aspect. If you do like yoga teacher's course, it is just on a superficial level, we understand all the theories. But when we are in the therapist course, we know that all these things, what we learned the previous, we know more deeply due to this period of time of 6 months. So, and we started to look analytically on the subjects. We understand, we connect that physiologic and anatomy with our practices. Not only the theory of yoga, but with all these things like Bhagavad Gita. We know how to introduce Bhagavad Gita in someone's life, in someone's day-to-day practice, someone's in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. How we can help others to understand this with our own understanding, so they can make their life better. So I would say that it was an experience, and we feel that Prana Yoga is like our family. All the teaching faculties are extremely good, and sir has and sir especially gives us such a positive look towards the subject, and not only the subject, towards the life, that you would feel blessed to stay with this course. That would I say. That is my own personal feelings. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Mansi ji. Thank you very much. Wish you all best wishes for your future dreams and imagination in your spiritual life. You are going very much into the spirituality.
You are the guiding force, sir. You took me this path.
Thank you. Natarajan, you are on, Dr. Natarajan, you are on spotlight. Thank you for coming, and please start your session.
Good evening, all of you. Thanks for giving the nice opportunity. Share the yoga therapy for the neurological disorder. Next, around 45 minutes, I can share about the how yoga is helpful for the healthy nervous system, and if any pathological condition of the nervous system, how the yoga practices recovery for that pathological condition. That we are going to discuss about the next around 45 minutes. First, we start with the affirmation. Always we have to give the blessing for ourselves. If possible, keep your right palm above your heart. I am a happy soul. I am a happy soul. My body is healthy. My relationship are in harmony. All is well right here, right now. My life is beautiful. My life is beautiful. Thank you. Today we are going to discuss about the introduction to the nervous system, and we are going to discuss about the second role of yoga therapy for the neurological disorder, and definition of the some health and effect of yogic practices. If you go further, create the sankalpa or affirmation or practicing sun salutation, asanas, pranayama, how it gives the impact for our nervous system. That we are going to discuss about the detail in this session. I give the practical experience. Okay, this person is Master Lalit Kumar. He had the problem. Actually, is basically while birth itself is a challenge children. Okay, challenge children mean brain damaged children only. Totally blind also, partially hearing impaired also. Even though he performed the asanas, he able to perform around 250 asanas. After the practicing the asanas, he able to recite the entire Patanjali Yoga Sutras, around 190 Yoga Sutras, and he able to recite in Tamil Tirukkural also around the 500, and Tamil another songs are there. So that also he able to did that one. This is our first experience how the yoga practices helpful for the brain injury children. Okay, also before that, often had the epileptics. Okay, after the practicing of the asana, reduce the epileptic, reduce the sleep, the dosage of the medication, and able to reduce the hyperactivity also. This is our practical examination. For he got the received the best creative child award when Abdul Kalam was the president in the 2005. He received the best creative child award also. He able to do the around 250 yoga posture also, but he totally blind. Okay, so this is our how the yoga therapy give the impact for the neurological things. Okay, so now we coming part of the Patanjali. So yoga is a mean for the destruction of the impurities. Okay, the purpose of yoga, destruction of the impurities, thus enabling the practitioner to cultivate the highest intelligence. Okay, because when you go for the nervous system, if you want to tone up our nervous system, first we need for the knowledge. Okay, when we are give the knowledge, when you are daily manana, we do the chanting, or when you are go for the thinking about the knowledge, that only stimulate or tone our nervous system. That's why Patanjali is mainly for the given. The yoga is a mean for the destruction of the impurity in the our intellect, that enabling the practitioner to cultivate the highest intelligence. If you cultivate the highest intelligence, we have to be able to use for the our entire capacity of or ability of our brain. That is the main thing. So first we see about the nervous system. Okay, so a nervous system, nothing but electrical communication. Okay, if you want communication, how we are communicating, like that the nervous system, the network, the specialized cell throughout the body. Because the entire body, if you are everywhere, if you touch, we can able to feel. So the communication is there. If you are unable to feel that one only, the problem in the some sensory neuron, then carry the electrochemical message from one part of the body to another. Every second. Now also, if you are listening the class here, your body produces some chemical. Okay, because a neuron not touch each other, it communicate only through the chemical only. That's why. So the main thing, the electrochemical message, and interact with the endocrine system to maintain the homeostasis. That is important. How yoga says, Bhagavad Gita, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Like that in the allopathy says, if you want for the healthy, we need for the homeostasis. Okay, we have to balance the, our, here the nervous system, we have to balance our sympathetic and parasympathetic. The nervous system work much faster than the endocrine system. Okay, when you are hearing itself, because we can able to connect for the in the world, how many cells are mobiles are there, we can easily send the message. Like that, we have the ability of our neuron. Okay, so the main function of the nervous system, one is a sensory. We are receiving the information and we are also sending the information. That's why first one is a we are sensory thing, and integration. Okay, when you are receiving the information and we have to integrate the things also. That's why we are integrating the things also. That's why we are mainly important. I develop the cognitive area also. We are receiving the information, after the interpretation, we are reacting. That's why here most we are using for the our Jnana Indriya as well as the Karma Indriya. That integrating for our nervous system and controlling, that is important. Okay, so it's controlling for the every organ and glands also. That under the our nervous system. These are the main three functions for the our nervous system. Mainly the classification of the nervous system. Mainly they divide the two. One is the central nervous system, CNS. That comes under the organ, the brain and spinal cord. The second one is a PNS, peripheral nervous system. It's mainly for the cranial nerve, and the 31 pair of the spinal nerve. Again, there are the two things that divided. One is afferent and afferent. We in the Sankhya we called it Jnanendriya and Karmendriya. Purpose of Jnanendriya, receiving the information. Like that in the nervous system, with the afferent nervous system is mainly for the receiving the information. Now we are receiving through the eye, through the ears. That is a main function of the sensory neuron. That is the afferent. Okay, through the sense organ we are receiving. After that is a motor afferent. For example, I am telling all of you, please raise your right arm in. You are receiving the information you are receiving. Okay, that we need for the motor. Okay, that is a we need for the motor neuron. That is a we called afferent. Okay, that's why again the divider that motor is a two. One is a we can able to control. Another one is a we are unable to control. If you control, what are the nervous system we are controlling? Which muscles control? The voluntary muscles. Which one attached with our bone? That is called voluntary or somatic or body. Something our internal organ also regulate by our nervous system only, but we can't control. That's why it's concerned comes under the autonomic involuntary. Okay, that's why mainly for the cardiac and smooth muscles and glands. Okay. So how they are able to control for the our yoga. Okay, so according the functional organization of the nervous system is mainly for the sensory apparent division, mainly receive the sensory information input from the receptor, because each and every organ there are the receptor is there. How the cells are have the receptor, like that here also having the receptor. Okay, that is important. And motor afferent division, that transmit the motor impulses from the central nervous system and transmit to the muscles and glands. That is the afferent organs. That's why these are the two important for the organization of the our nervous system. The basic unit of the nervous system we called neuron. How we called in the kidney, we called nephron. Like the nerve cells, we are mainly called a neuron. There are the mainly for the two nerve cells are there. One is a neuron, another one is a glia. Okay, so they are the assistable cell neuron, mainly for the initiate and transmit the nerve impulse. Okay, how we are the nerve impulse transmit mean through the neuron. Okay, the glia cell is mainly for the product and support the neuron. It is a non-assistable, it support the neuron. Okay, these are the two nerve cells are the more important. So how the impulse is going, the nerve impulse. Okay, there is a, this is we want called a neuron. Okay, the neuron not touch each other. This action only for the conductivity. The transmit the information to the one place to another place. For that, we need the positive and negative ion. We need for the sodium and potassium. Then only it is the nerve impulse go for the one to another. The end of the neurotransmitter is there. Through the neurotransmitter only, the message will go for the interneuron. Okay, so that the through chemical. That's why each and every activity, our neuron produce the chemical, biochemical. That's why how you are doing the activity, according that only even brain will be produce the biochemical. So that is a more important. Okay, this is a physiology. We discuss about the physiology. A nervous system mainly for the electrical communicate, it regulate and control all the organs. So if you are we go for the pathology. Okay, pathology is nothing but imbalance of the physiology. If you are not get the proper electrical stimulation, if you are not receive the proper sensory input, if you are not working for the proper afferent nerves, or in the there are the three neurons are there. One is a sensory neuron, second one is an interneuron, third one is a motor neuron. So if you are properly not functioning, we get that is called pathology. Pathology is nothing but imbalance of the physiology. If you are functioning, more also problem, less also problem. So we have to maintain the balance. Okay, so first we go for the sudden weakness or paralysis. If you people are get the stroke, they get the facial also. So it is our experience. One of our students, he was worked in the Karnataka bank only. He is placed for the Bangalore only. He had the facial paralysis, but within the 3 days, he cured by the only the mudra. Only he practiced the Adi Mudra because he was the manager of that bank. So he unable to went for the bank. That's why he practiced for the daily 6 hours only for the practicing the Adi Mudra. So within the Adi Mudra, within the 3 days is normalized for this facial paralysis. This is our second example. How the yoga is helpful or changed for the neurological condition. And after that, people are nowadays get the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, after 60, normally people are there reducing their memory power. Okay, so their behavior and brain function. Even their research says a simple abdominal breathing. If you go for the according to the traditional with Kumbhaka, so normally they did the research when you're doing for this abdominal breathing itself. They tested in our saliva, they increase the NGF, nerve growth factor. Okay, did the research for the Dr. Subramaniam. They did the research in the US only. They in the medical university only. So only for the abdominal breathing, it's enhanced for the nerve growth factor. It reduce the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so when you're practicing that one, automatically the enhance for that one. If you really practice pranayama properly, your saliva you can become a tasty also. We are increase the secretion of the saliva also. If you take the test for that one, it's mainly for the control our appetite or it good for the digestive system as well as the respiratory system and our nervous system also and immune system also. If you go for the properly for the our abdominal breathing. Okay, next we go for the epilepsy. So epilepsy, I already told the nervous system main function, electrical communication, electrical stimulation. If you have the epilepsy mean nothing but if you have the more in the electrical power, the higher voltage come for our brain, the people are get the epilepsy. Okay, so that's why that I already told the master Lalit Kumar before that he had that epilepsy problem also. When after the practices, it also reduced for that nerve impulses also. So then automatically reduce the epilepsy also. That's why when you practicing the asana, it also gives the calming effect of our nervous system or soothing about the nervous system. You know the Stephen Atkins, if you know that one, the NASA scientist. So he's happened, had the problem for the motor neuron disease. Okay, he able to receive the information and interpret, but he able to unable to react. The paralysis means the problem is the motor neuron because causes of the weakness in the muscle leading evenly to the paralysis. They are unable to move their organs. Okay, so that's why even the Parkinson and all, so the people are getting this problem only. When you do the asanas and properly practices for that one, we can able to enhance the function of the even the motor neuron also. Okay, even the multiple sclerosis also, the chronic disease affect our central nervous system. These are the things how we have to perform our yoga practices. That is a more important, even the Parkinson disease. Okay, this also is a disorder of the nervous system because of the result from the damage the nerve cells, mainly for the reduce the secretion of the dopamine. Why the people are nowadays they get the problem in they are not happy with what they are doing. That is the reason only the people are getting the Parkinson disease. They are unable to produce for the pleasurable biochemical that is called the dopamine. Okay, that's why we are going to discuss how we have to go for the enhance this neurological disorder, even the sciatic also, not in the back pain. The main reason for that sciatic is a nerve, is a compress of the our in the lumbar region. Okay, our in the vertebrae. That's why they radiating the pain in the leg. So these are the mainly for the neurological disorder. Okay, now we already discussed about the nervous system. I hope maybe already everybody in the field of yoga, you understand about that one, the physiology, anatomy and physiology and pathology. Now we can see about the how the yoga will help you. Okay, so yoga is the key because till now the lot of Nobel Prize winner for the neurological disorder only, nervous system only. But till now, unfortunately, there is no medication for the nervous system. Okay, if you go for the hospital, only they give for the steroids only. Okay, so that's why yoga is the key. Because if we go for the every yoga practice, it is based on our spinal column only. Even if you go for the bandhas, mudras, meditation, and asanas, and pranayama, everything that based on our central nervous system only. Okay, even Yohananda Paramahamsa say, brain and spine is a gift of the God. Okay, brain and spine is a gift of our God. That's why how we are keeping the health of our spinal column or spinal cord. Okay, so that is a more important. Normally we correlate with in yoga the psychophysiological energy point, or we call it the Kundalini Shakti. They correlate with the flexes. If we go for the nervous system, the each and every chakra they correlate with the plexus. Okay, like a coccyx plexus, then we go for sacral plexus and solar plexus, cardiac plexus, and cranial plexus. They correlate with the plexus. Plexus means nerve junction. Okay, that's why more important, because when we are able to enhance the function of the nervous system, mainly for the pranayama technique, chanting the mantra, how we are doing the activity consciously. That is a more important. If you want to train our nervous system, the consciousness is the key. That is a more important. And that is a yoga is the key for the developing for the our nervous system. That's why Patanjali given for the third sutras for the asanas. Mainly given for the 3 sutras for the asana. The first one is a definition. Second one, how to master the asana. Third one, result of the mastery. Okay, those who are practicing regularly asana, they won't affect for any duality of life. Okay, so they are, because in the life, the duality will come. Maybe the climate will change, maybe the emotion will be go for the opposite, but it won't affect the organs because we can able to easily control our autonomic nervous system. Okay, that's why yogis under the lot of research, even they are able to stop the few seconds their heartbeat also. It is possible only for the practicing the yoga only. So according to is mainly human physiologist, according to he says health is the ability to adapt to one's environment. Okay, how we are last 2 years adapted for the in the COVID condition. Those who have the healthy, they easily they are adapt for the environment. Health is not a fixed entity. Even that's why they called neuroplasticity. Even the brain damage, any challenge for the things, maybe the autism or anything, it is like a brain is a velocity. How the muscles, if you are trained, we can able to build our muscle. Like that, if you are trained our brain, it will also enhance that one. Okay, because of the important that one. It varies for the every individual, depending on the circumstance. That is important. Health is not for the static. Health is a dynamic. That is a more important. Okay, so if you go for the first neuroscientist in this India, we call it Dr. Ramamurthy. He is a great neurologist. Okay, he says about, he also had the interview with Krishnamacharya also. Yoga is a development of the cerebral cortex. Yoga is a development of the cerebral cortex. That says Sri Aurobindo says, yoga means developing the man to the animal to man, man to Superman, Superman to divine man. Okay, animal level mean even the coma people, they are able to live because of their lower medulla oblongata is a functioning. Okay, if you are functioning upper lower part of the brain, we can our organ getting the healthy function. If you want react with environment only, we need for the second one, our cognitive area. Okay, then only we are able to react for the environment. The autism people only, the problem for the, they are unable to react for the environment, even the coma and all. So organ, they are functioning properly. Okay, that's a man mean, according to Swami Shivananda, think before act, to think. That's a mantra root word also, the man only, to think before act, not for the thinking for the after the did the activity. Okay, then only we are using for second. That's why Sri Aurobindo says yoga is developing the animal to man. When you are practicing yoga, we are getting the ESP, extrasensory perception or siddhis. So then only you are becoming a Superman. Okay, so that next level of the your brain involved, and then we can go for the divine mind. Your cortex involved. Cortex is the upper part of the brain that is involved when you are doing for the yoga consciously, because according to psychologists, per day we are living only 5 to 10% only consciously. Yes or no? Say all of you taking the food for the lunch, even the dinner, how many percentage you are consciously taking your food, even the brushing, while walking, while driving? Okay, maximum we are using for the like a habituated animal. We are not for the living consciously. We are not living in the now. That's why Patanjali say the first sutra, the entire purpose of yoga, the yoga anusasana. We have to live in the present. Then only our cortex will be involved. Otherwise, our lower part of our instinct only involved. That's why yoga is a development of the cerebral cortex. Okay, so even if you go for the, and now he is a person Tony Nada, this person only now in director of the TM meditation, transcendental meditation, is a MD PhD. Okay, so PhD in the neuroscience. He correlate with our in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. The Patanjali Yoga Sutras, around 4 padas is there. Like that, in our brain also, the 4 lobes are there. Okay, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there are the 190 Sutra is there. Like that, here also the Gaira Sulsai. Okay, the up and down of that our brain, so around for the 196 up and down is there. Okay, so it's mainly for the correlate. How for the each part of the thing, each sutra is a effect. Frontal lobe for the which padas, the partial lobe for the which pada, occipital lobe for the which pada. Like that is explained for the things. That's why the Patanjali Sutras is mainly for the developing for the our nervous system. When you chanting that sutra itself. Okay, normally in the yoga practices, normally we give for the practices Sankalpa affirmation. All of you know that Sushma Viyama, Surya Namaskar, asanas, pranayama, mudra, meditation, and diet. So we will go for the discuss about the how each one affect for the our nervous system. First we see about the affirmation. Okay, so affirmation means the meaning of the word something true. We call it maybe Sankalpa. This is something true. She is a Dr. Candice Pett. It's a neurophysiologist only. It says about he written on book Molecules of Emotion. He only find out the neurotransmitter, not only in the brain. Okay, so the entire part of the body, there is a neurotransmitter is there. Okay, so entire part of the body, when you do for the emotion, the biochemical will be secreted. That's why it is called peptides. Okay, so after that peptides carry the emotional message. That's why when you do the Sankalpa or affirmation, how we have to do the mean with emotional. Okay, I am healthy mean with emotional you have to tell. This message of change the chemistry of our body cells. Okay, the neurotransmitter are chemicals, but they carry the electrical charge. The electrical signals in our brain and bodies affect the way of cells interact and function. That's why the emotion is a more important. That's why what asana you are performing, it is not matter how you are performing the asana. That's why Padmini says Stiram Sugam Asanas, because the peptides only for the becoming a protein. Okay, because there are more than 50 molecules are there, it became like a chain, it is called a protein. Protein means primary important, and that is important. That's why when you do for the emotionally, it change your protein also. Because in our body around 200 proteins are there, the more protein synthesis by our body. Even our myofascial also is a protein layer is there. It also mainly for the when you're performing asana properly only, we can able to increase our protein, not for taking the food. Okay, she is there also American molecular biologist. Elizabeth Hatch Blackmore. He says for the telomere. Telomere mean the end of the gene. Okay, end of the DNA. They called it telomere. That telomere, that length only determine your health. Okay, that only determine your aging. That listen your behavior. Okay, they listen your state of mind. That's why even their Candice says your body is nothing but it's a subconscious mind. Your body is nothing but subconscious mind. Subconscious is nothing but your behavior mind. That's why doctor nowadays says everything is a lifestyle disorder. How you are behaving according that only your physical health. If you want to change your health, you have to change your habit. Because your habit became a behavior, because that only is a listening your that gene. Okay, so according to that only your health. That's why nowadays the lot of research they are doing for the hardware for the epigenetic, how we can able to change our gene through the yogic practices. Okay, so that's why we have to understand how the sankalpa affirmation, your state of mind affect your gene. Okay, that's why when you practice, when you have the positive conscious and create the things, it will affect that one. Next, we go for sun salutation. When you practice sun salutation, all of you know that one. It's mainly for the purpose, awaken our inner potential, mainly for the activate for the our psycho energy physiological point or chakras only. If you are properly performing the Surya Namaskar, it will mainly for the keeping our healthy spinal column. Okay, the spinal column, the vertebra is more important because in the vertebra, the canal only the spinal nerve go. The spinal nerve, any compress is there, it will affect the organs. That's why maintaining the proper structure is there. The Surya Namaskar is an important role. When you're performing this one, automatically tone up for the entire nervous system also. That's why the best priorities and prevention priorities, the sun salutation. If we have somebody had the problem, we can modify the priorities and give. If you go for the asanas, all of you know that one, father of scientific yoga, Swami Kwalananda. He says about the asanas is that which contribute the stability of sense of well-being. When you practice asana, that one, it is a tonic introspective impulses. When you performing asana, there is a tonic introspective impulses also is there, delineated above or not only more economical of energy. Yoga normally we say conserve the energy, it not only for the conserve energy, but have the for reaching psychophysiological bearing the behavior of the man also. That's why it's a mainly for the integrative action of the nervous system. That's why asana is change your behavior also. That's why they given for the name of the asana. That's why when you're performing asana, don't do the mechanically. If you are warrior posture, mean you have to bring that emotion. Okay, if you are in the Tadasana, mean you have to bring that emotion. Okay, if you are in the Padma lotus posture, mean you have to bring that one. That is a more important. Human being, not a machine, not a doing. We are in the being. Okay, which is a more important. That emotions is a more important. Because we have to understand why our spinal column is important, why they maintain the posture is important. Okay, a lot of people, they are problem in the uterus, mean they are not checking for the lumbar region. If you have problem in the constipation, mean they are not checking the problem in the our spinal column. If you have the problem in the SA node, mean they are not checking for the thoracic region. Okay, because if you have any problem, even if you see six problem in the problem for the tingling for our fingers, like that, if you have any thoracic problem or angular spondylite, it affect our things of the heart. The aortic stimulation is reduced. Okay, first we have to understand when they are coming anybody for the your yoga class, how they are in the posture, how they are alignment of the body. That is a more important. If you are, because our organ are functioning through electrochemical stimulation. Our organ are functioning electrochemical stimulation. If you anything compress for the any nerve, it will affect our function. Even if you are the neck problem, C4 problem, definitely have the breathing problem. Without correcting our neck, we can't further enhance the function of the C4, our diaphragm. Like that, we have to understand about the what is the role of the alignment of our spinal column. Okay, that is a more important. Okay, so that's why we have to consider that. So asana is a mainly role. Even the geometrical shape of the asana, like a trikonasana or virabhadrasana, mainly for the aligning the spine. Instead of the going for the treating our symptom, we have to understand which is a root. Okay, that's why a nervous system is a more important. How in your home the electrical gadget is there. If your fan is a problem, okay, first you have to check the electricity is coming to your fan. Like that, if you have any organs or problem or uterus or anything, pancreas or anything, first the electrical supply is there. Okay, they have the spine is there. How you they are spine. Okay, that is a more important. Without aligning spine, we can't treat our organs. That is a more important. So how the asanas are helping? Because when you performing asana, it a realignment of our paraspinal muscles. Because in our back, around there are the 145 muscles are there. Okay, in the 33 vertebra, that connect the lot of ligaments. Okay, anterior part, lateral part, and posterior part. Okay, then is in between the ligament, sorry, in between the vertebrae, there are the disc also is there. Okay, if you want properly that one, the God given for that tremendous structure, architecture, and our spine. That's why when you're performing asana, maybe we are realigning our paraspinal muscle, remove the altered stresses and strain on the spinal nerve, and re-establish their anatomical relationship, increase the blood circulation to the brain. Okay, mainly for the inverted posture, Sirasasana, Sarvangasana, it also prevent the fatigue of the brain cells. Okay, so that's why these are the more important. Even it is a reduce the stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system and activate the rest and repair of the parasympathetic nervous system. That's why while performing the asana, how we have to perform, that is important. When you are going to the posture, the sympathetic nervous stimulation is there. When you are maintaining the posture, the parasympathetic nervous system is there. That's why the asana is the balancing our autonomic nervous system also. So when you go for the pranayama, okay, so we all of you know that one, rhythmic flow of the swara. Okay, so mainly for the for the 60 to 90 minutes. Just he stated the Shastra. Okay, after the each cycle completed, nerve impulse discharge for the corpus. Corpus only, the people are affected for the brain injury. Okay, so approximately 4 minutes. Okay, this is a correspond the period that Swara flow evenly through the Sushmana. That's why the pranayama mainly for the even Nadisuti pranayama mandal, balancing our nervous system also. Okay, so that's why the pranayama also important, because we are mastering the practicing technique, because after observing that without influencing the breath, the automatic respiration controlled by the respiratory center situate the midbrain. Okay, when you are practicing that one, aware of the process of the respiration, it shift, okay, unconscious to conscious, or in the cerebellum to cerebral cortex. That's why pranayama mainly for the shifting the brain part, lower level to higher level. Okay, causing the cortex to develop, lead to the higher stage, evolutionary the development of the cortex. Okay, that's a mainly thing. Even all of you know that one, Kapalapati. So the Kapalapati also mainly for the shining the brain mean it stimulate our nervous system. Okay, because of the we are situated for that one. Because when your carbon level increase, it will mainly our cortex involved for the voluntarily for the breathing. Okay, that's why when you do the pranayama, the kumbhaka also important. The kumbhaka role is a main important because when the demand is involved, is there only our cortex involved. That's why that is a more important because when you go for the normal respiratory drive, the carbon dioxide exhalation is primarily maintained by the chemoreceptor reflex. Okay, the chemoreceptor reflex. The chemoreceptor reflex important allowing the body to respond, change our PO2. That's why when you want to maintain the pH level of our body, acid and alkaline ratio. Okay, pH means power of hydrogen. The oxygen role is more important. Okay, that's why when you're practicing asana, the chemoreceptor is more important. Chemo and baroreceptor. So that's why asana is really helpful for that one. All of you know that one, alternative nostril breathing. So that brings the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system in harmony. Okay, through the breathing, we can influence the nervous system in the bronchodilation or correlating the abnormal breathing pattern and reduce the muscle tone of the respiratory muscles also. Next, we go for the how the mudra give the impact. Okay, all of you know that one. Mudra means sealing the energy. So according to Gularvana Tantra, you have to think how the mudra is important. That is a more important because if you go further in the science or if you go for the even the dance, they are using the mudra. They called what they called abhinaya. Abhinaya mean what is maybe abhinaya? Anybody able to tell? So abhinaya mean is a mirror gesture. Okay, so abhinaya darpanam they called it. Abhinaya darpanam mean all of you know that one mirror. Abhinaya mean attitude. Okay, so like that in the brain also there are the mirror neuron are there. Okay, normally people have the autism. The mirror neuron reduce the function. Okay, that's why when some people get the yawning, we are also get the yawning because of the mirror neuron. That's why when you performing the asanas, we are stimulate the mirror neuron. That's why compared to asana, compared to pranayama, we get more benefit when you practice mudra. Okay, because mudra is mainly for the change our attitude. Okay, so life success 90% based on your attitude. That's why asana mean what? Mudra mean non-verbal communication. Okay, it show your attitude. Your gesture show your attitude. Okay, that's why the mudra is more important. It gives the injection effect. If you put the injection, immediately it react for your physiology. Like that, the mudra gives us such much effect. Even if you go for the Hridaya mudra, immediately secrete for the sorbate in your body. Okay, so like that, if you go for Jal mudra, immediately secrete in your saliva in your mouth. So like that, because the fingertips are the free energy discharge point. Okay, when the fingers are the form of the mudra, different free energy discharge point come to conduct the prana. Okay, it's rear direct the back of the body, the form of simple psycho and neural lock. Okay, that's why when you are using for the touching the finger, there are the sensory neuron is there. The sensory neuron end with our sensory cortex. Okay, when you are doing the movement, it's a motor neuron needed. So the motor neuron also end with our motor cortex. That's why in our fingers, there are the forms, there are 70% of the primitive nerve ending are there. That's why when you're practicing the mudra, we are tone up our nervous system also. That's why compared to asana pranayama, we get more benefit in the mudras because more simple thing only get the more impact. Okay, that's why we have to understand the things, how the mudra, because mudra will help the restore the tension in the nerves to the default value, message start flowing smoothly the brain, can give the clear solution the organ of the completely and effectively. Okay, so these are the cortex area. For each and every motor neuron end with our this cortex area. That's why when you're doing the asana, we have to do for the consciously with awareness. Don't do the mechanically. So then only the cortex will be involved. Okay, next we go for the bandhas. Okay, so there are the three main bandhas. All of you know that one. So mudra is how we call it seal. The bandha is a neuromuscular lock. Okay, so the bandhas is mainly for the co-activation of the opposing muscle. Okay, spinal joint complex. So bandhas is mainly we are doing for the three, mainly for the mola and uddiyana and jalandhar. Okay, three is mainly affect our vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is an important nerve. All of you know that one. The vagus nerve is a name is called wandering, the longest and largest and most complex nerve. It's a mainly governing for our heart, lungs, and immune system. That's why when you're doing the bandhas, it's mainly for the tone up our vagus nerve. Okay, that is a more important. Even the chanting the mantras also. Okay, so the last and final part we are coming for the meditation. How the meditation gives the impact for our nervous system. Meditation also is important. When you're practicing meditation, the lot of research they says for the mainly it thickening. Okay, so it's mainly for the thickening our brain. So that's it. The meditation mainly for the helping for that one. Okay, so meditation mainly for the helping that one. Even they says for the this person is called Alexis Carrel. Okay, Nobel Prize winner. He did write in our book. Okay, so he says for that one, the sound body lives in silence. Okay, the sound body is there, lives in silence. That's why we do not hear, we do not feel it's working. The rhythm of our existence are expressed by the synesthetic impression, which like the soft wiring of a 16-cylinder motor. Okay, how they are in the cylinder are there in the car. Okay, normally for the race car and all, around the 16-cylinder is there. Feel the depth of our consciousness. We are in the silence and meditation. Okay, that's why the sound body lives in the silence. When you're going for the meditation, it gives a more impact for our nervous system. It go for the alpha base. Okay, that is a more important. That's why the meditation is a mainly give the more impact. That's why when you go for the silence mean nothing but say Patanjali says yoga mean chitta vritti nirodha. So we are doing for the 5 vrittis. Okay, what are the 5 vrittis? Pramana, Viprayaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, and Smriti. We have to master over this vritti only we called yoga according to Patanjali. Okay, that's why silence means when you are thinking about the God itself, we called it nirsankalpa. Okay, we are not thinking about only we think about the God itself, it is called thoughtless stage or silence. If you are giving for the creating the positive thoughts itself, you are in the thinking. When you're thinking about the God, automatically our mind go for the Brahman. Okay, so there we are getting for the mind get the silence, the positive thing. So we can feel for the good energy. Okay, we can, our brain will produce for the dopamine, endorphin, encephalin. That's why Dr. Candice Pett, she says the future of medication is a meditation. When you are going for the meditation, the frontal lobe of your brain secrete the what biochemical needed for your body. Okay, that's why the meditation, because the meditation and medication, the both is the same root word, medri. Medri mean to heal. That's why when you go for the practice of the meditation, you feel. That's why Ayurveda says health means swasthaya. Okay, that's why meditation means what? Swa. You have to again come for the self. Okay, so means self, daya. That's why healthy, heal plus die. Okay, which one is the healing? Your thyself only. When you are reconnecting the self is called meditation. When you are remember who we are, that is called meditation. That uninterpreted flow of the thought in the particular object of that one. That is called meditation. That's say the meditation mainly for the helpful for our neurological disorder or nervous system. Then the sankalpa, the mind also more important, because the mind is a software, the brain is a hardware. Okay, if your mind is healthy, automatically your brain is also healthy. For that only. That's why when you have the good thought, okay, so automatically your body also good, because that feeling only the language of the cells. Okay, if you feel the good, your body will be functioning properly. Okay, if you are loving yourself, your body will be functioning properly. If you are hate yourself, automatically reduce the function of your organ. That's why nowadays the people are get the more in the autonomic autoimmune disorder, like a cancer, type 1 diabetes, then rheumatoid arthritis, because of they are not like themselves. Okay, so that's why that is a more important. That's why if you want to enhance your health, you have to go further this meditation. Okay, so that's it, the more important. Okay, thank you. So these are the things about the neurological things. You know about the little bit how the yoga practices give the impact for the our nervous system. Okay, if you have any questions, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Natarajan.
Thank you.
Very nicely, you have given the summary of the nervous system as well as the effect of yogic practices. Very nice. Friends, if you have any questions, please ask anything specific to this thing.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Sir, I would like to ask that how long we should practice any mudra. As per you have said, Adi mudra for that facial paralysis.
Yes,
so, what is the exactly right way to get the results, sir?
Okay, normally the research says for the minimum we have to practice 45 minutes. Okay, so we can't practice at a time. So they says for the 3 times for the at least 15 minutes at a time, minimum 15 minutes we have to practice any one mudra. If you want change any physiology, morning we can practice 15 minutes, afternoon we can practice 15 minutes, evening we can practice 15 minutes. Then only it gives the impact. Because
empty stomach is must, or sitting straight is must?
Not necessary. Your spine only be erect. Anytime we can practice, even while traveling, even the lying position also, because aged person, because in the lying automatically our spine should be erect. Even the aged person, we can give the practice for that one. That is a help.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, there is even Dr. Balakrishnan.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Ghanshyamji, for bringing Natarajan as friend of mine since last maybe 12, 13 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, in my yogic journey, Natarajan has been very instrumental. So whenever Natarajan is there, in fact, I was fortunate to attend the whole of Patanjali Sutra last year for 3 months. Every Sunday used to do that. So wherever Natarajan is there, I ensure that I attend. And once again, thank you, Natarajan sir. Thank you, Ghanshyamji. Both the days, yesterday and today, was a great treat for all of us.
Thank you, Balakrishnan-ji. Once again, I say that most of the people, those who are giving this lecture series, are going to be faculty in our yoga therapy course. You can join the full course or you can join the part of the course as per your choice.
Sure,
so with this, Dr. There is a Chandrasekhar ji is very happy. He has said that we need one more session with Dr. Natarajan ji. So definitely we will, Chandrasekhar ji, we will try to fulfill your request
Okay.
And by the way, tomorrow is our last session. Tomorrow we have a session on pranayama. So please join us. Link will be sent in the group. If you are not in the group, I request you contact the two numbers and join the Prana Yoga groups to get the link for tomorrow's session. With this, we will stop here. Thank you once again for joining and looking forward to
Sir,
it.
can I ask a question, please? I raise the hand, please.
iPhone, your name is missing, madam.
Oh,
Your
sorry.
name is,
Yeah, my
Yeah.
name is Ritu, sir.
yes,
Um,
Ritu.
Yeah, hi. Namaste, sir. And thank you very much for the wonderful session. I have a question regarding the autoimmune diseases, which are getting more and more and spreading widely. I can see around me. And there is one issue with problem like Crohn's. Is there any treatment? I mean, we can cure or reduce the effect of the Crohn's doing yoga, mudra, or any form of yoga.
Mainly, these are the problem for the, we call it PNEA, psychoneuroendocrine immunology only. Main thing for the nowadays, the problem for the, how they are balancing emotional. That's why mainly for the affirmation and pranayama practice, reduce that problem, madam. Because when you do the practice of the pranayama, we can get for the good biochemical body, it is also reduce that one.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Because it is also increase our immune system also. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
thank you, Hemjit.
Okay,
Yes.
Natarajan ji, thank you once again for joining this evening and looking forward to have more sessions with you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you, friends. See you tomorrow evening, 7:30.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.